Every morning, you wake up with a choice. You can't decide what the world will throw at you, but you can decide how you will respond. And that is where your real power lies. Today, I want to talk to you about something we have all experienced: anger. Anger is like an internal storm, a fire that ignites quickly, and if we don't control it, it consumes us from within. It is one of the most destructive emotions we can experience. It poisons us, corrodes us, and damages those around us. It is not a sign of strength. It is a sign that we have lost control over ourselves. Stoic teachings remind us that true strength lies not in reacting with fury, but in mastering our own minds. The Stoics understood this well. Uncontrolled emotion is not power. It is enslavement. Why do we get angry? Anger does not come from events themselves, but from the story we tell ourselves about them. Think about this. Does what someone said or did really have the power to hurt you? Or is it your interpretation of their actions that wounds you? Epictetus said it clearly. It is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. We get angry because things don't go as we want them to, because people don't act the way we expect, because we believe life owes us something, when in reality, it owes us nothing. But if we understand that the world is not here to fulfill our expectations, that it simply is what it is, we save ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Think about the last time you got angry. Was it because of what someone did, or because you expected them to do something different? Anger and ego. A dangerous connection. Anger is a reflection of a wounded ego. We want to be right. We want to feel validated. We want our point of view to be recognized. And when that doesn't happen, we explode. But stop for a moment and ask yourself, is it really that important? Is it worth letting anger take over? Most of the time, what others do has nothing to do with us. Not everything is personal. When we stop thinking that the world revolves around us, we stop feeling attacked by every word or action from others. The ego wants to fight. It wants to defend itself, to win, to prove that it is right. And in that desire, we fall into the trap of anger. But real power is not in reacting. It is in resisting that first reaction. Breathe. Observe anger as it arises. Don't suppress it, don't deny it. Just watch it. Look at it as if you were an observer. If you can do this, you are already winning the battle. Now that we understand that anger comes from our expectations and a wounded ego, it's time to talk about its consequences. Anger is destructive, not just emotionally, but physically. It raises blood pressure, weakens the immune system, and can lead to cardiovascular problems. It is a fire that burns inside of us, but it does not harm the person who wronged us. It harms us. How many times have we allowed anger to ruin our day? Perhaps the other person didn't even realize they hurt us, yet we keep replaying the conversation in our minds, the words, the offense, as if being angry would bring us justice, when in reality, it only keeps us trapped. This is where Stoicism offers us a solution: accepting reality, flowing with reality, instead of resisting. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must accept what comes from nature as if you had chosen it yourself." This changes everything. If instead of resisting what happens, we accept it, we prevent frustration and anger from taking over. But acceptance does not mean resignation. It means understanding that we have no control over the world, only over our minds. We cannot control others, but we can control how we respond. Think about this. If someone treats you with disrespect or speaks to you harshly, you have two choices. Let anger control you, argue, react, get emotionally drained. Take a breath, observe the situation from a distance, and respond with intelligence. In the first case, you lose control of yourself. In the second, you own the situation. There is no strength in anger. there is strength in remaining calm. Forgiveness, releasing the weight of the past. Resentment is a burden. When we hold on to anger, what we are really doing is reliving the pain over and over again. We become prisoners of a past that no longer exists. Forgiving does not mean approving what happened. It does not mean the other person was right. It means choosing to let go of that weight, choosing to free yourself. Because in the end, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. Ask yourself, do I want to keep carrying this anger, or do I want to reclaim my peace? People who have learned to forgive live lighter, more peaceful lives, because they understand that the best revenge is not harming others. It is showing that the harm did not change them. The best revenge is peace. Now, before we continue, if this message is resonating with you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share it. Let's spread this philosophy so that more women can find peace in their daily lives. And tell me in the comments, how have you reacted to anger in the past? What has helped you manage it? Your experiences can inspire others. Now, let's continue. Tomorrow, when you face a situation that could make you angry, remember this. You don't have to react immediately. You can pause. You can observe instead of acting impulsively. You can choose your response. And in that choice lies your true power, embracing challenges and the power of self-reflection. In the world of Stoicism, challenges are not seen as obstacles to avoid, but as opportunities to grow. As women, we are often faced with situations that test our patience, resilience, and emotional strength, whether in our personal relationships, careers, or self-image. Stoicism teaches us that how we respond to these challenges is what shapes our character, not the challenges themselves. One powerful Stoic principle is the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. This is the idea that we should embrace everything that happens, both the good and the bad, because each moment is an opportunity to learn and improve. Instead of resisting adversity, we can welcome it as an essential part of our personal growth. Think about a difficult situation you've faced in life. Maybe it was a breakup, a career setback, or even a moment of self-doubt. Stoicism would encourage you to reflect on how you responded. Did you fall into frustration or anger, or did you take a step back and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? The true power lies in our ability to change our perspective. By focusing on our own response rather than external events, we reclaim control over our lives. Self-reflection is a key part of this process. By regularly taking time to examine our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. This practice helps us identify areas where we can improve and make conscious decisions about how we want to respond to future challenges. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what is in our control and what is not. As women, we often take on more than we should, feeling responsible for things outside of our control, others' emotions, opinions, or even events in the world. But true peace comes from letting go of these external factors and focusing on what we can actually change: our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's important to remember that this isn't about suppressing our emotions or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. Stoicism allows us to acknowledge our emotions, but it empowers us to choose how we respond to them. By cultivating self-awareness and taking ownership of our responses, we build inner strength and resilience. So, as you move through your day, remember, every challenge you face is an opportunity to practice Stoicism. Embrace it, reflect on it, and use it to grow into the woman you are meant to be. The strength in letting go. Embracing detachment and inner peace, one of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is the practice of detachment. This isn't about being cold or indifferent to the world around us, but about understanding that our true peace comes from within and not from external sources. For women, this can be incredibly liberating. We often get caught up in the expectations of others, societal pressures, and the constant need to be everything for everyone. But Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in the ability to let go of things that are beyond our control. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control or fix everything. It's the recognition that there are many things in life, people, situations, outcomes, that are simply outside of our hands. When we attach our happiness and self-worth to these things, we set ourselves up for disappointment because life is unpredictable. The key is to focus on our own internal state, the only thing we truly have control over. Think of a time when you held on to something too tightly, whether it was a relationship, a goal, or even an idea of who you were supposed to be. At first, it might have felt like holding on would give you a sense of security, but in the end, it likely caused more stress and frustration. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on goals or ambitions, but rather recognizing when it's time to surrender the outcome and trust the process. For example, in a professional setting, women often face the pressure to be perfect, to prove their worth constantly. Stoicism teaches that our value is not defined by external validation, but by our character, our actions, and how we treat others. By letting go of the need for constant approval and acceptance, we free ourselves from the anxiety of comparison and self-doubt. A Stoic practice of detachment also allows us to better handle loss, disappointment, and change. Life is full of unexpected turns, and rather than clinging to what was or what could have been, we are invited to accept the present moment for what it is. In this acceptance, we find peace. It's not about resigning ourselves to negativity, but about making the choice to find contentment within ourselves, regardless of the circumstances. Detachment is also deeply connected to self-compassion. When we let go of unrealistic expectations and the pressure to be perfect, we make space to treat ourselves with the kindness we so often extend to others. We can learn to embrace our flaws, our mistakes, and our imperfections, not as weaknesses, but as part of our unique journey toward growth. The process of detachment can be challenging, especially for women who are often conditioned to care deeply for others. But it's important to remember that detachment doesn't mean neglecting others or becoming indifferent. It means recognizing when our own emotional health needs attention and putting our own well-being first. By practicing Stoic detachment, we learn to embrace the uncertainty of life with grace and strength. We become less swayed by the winds of external change and more anchored in our own values and principles. In doing so, we create the inner peace that allows us to thrive, no matter what life throws our way. The art of resilience, cultivating inner strength. In the face of adversity, resilience is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It's the ability to stand firm in the face of challenges, to remain calm and composed when life gets tough. As women, we often find ourselves navigating a world full of expectations, uncertainties, and pressures. But Stoicism teaches us that resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It's about how we respond to it. It's about developing the mental strength to endure and thrive, no matter what life throws at us. The Stoic mindset invites us to view adversity as an opportunity to test our strength. Instead of seeing challenges as something to fear or avoid, we can approach them as exercises for our growth. Every time we face a difficulty, we have the chance to practice virtues like patience, perseverance, and self-discipline, traits that make us more resilient over time. One of the most powerful Stoic concepts related to resilience is the idea of the obstacle is the way. This idea, popularized by author Ryan Holiday, is rooted in the belief that obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones on the path to greatness. In other words, every challenge we face has the potential to help us grow stronger if we choose to face it with courage and wisdom. For example, imagine you're going through a tough time in your career. Maybe you're not getting the recognition you deserve, or you're facing obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. In these moments, the Stoic approach would encourage you to reflect on what you can control, your own effort, attitude, and response. Instead of giving in to frustration or defeat, you can choose to use this obstacle as an opportunity to become more skilled, more focused, and more determined. Resilience also requires us to develop a sense of perspective. When faced with adversity, it's easy to get caught up in the emotions of the moment, to feel as if everything is falling apart. Stoicism encourages us to step back and evaluate the situation objectively. How significant is this challenge in the grand scheme of things? Will it matter a year from now? Often we find that the things we stress over are temporary and not worth sacrificing our peace of mind. Another key element of resilience in Stoicism is practicing gratitude. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. This shift in perspective helps us build emotional strength, because we realize that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. Whether it's our health, our relationships, or the lessons we've learned along the way, gratitude helps us stay grounded and positive. As women, we often face unique challenges, whether in our careers, relationships, or societal expectations. But the Stoic path shows us that resilience is something we can all cultivate, regardless of the obstacles in our lives. By focusing on what is within our control, maintaining perspective, and practicing gratitude, we can build the inner strength to not only survive adversity, but to thrive in the face of it. Remember, resilience is not about being invincible or never feeling pain. It's about how we rise after we fall, how we adapt and keep going, and how we stay true to our values and purpose, no matter what happens. Embrace your resilience and use it to become the woman you were always meant to be. Thank you so much for listening to this message. I truly appreciate you taking the time to tune in. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Remember, this channel is called the Stoic Woman Mindset, and it's designed to be your companion as you get ready for the day, whether you're at the gym, on your way to work, or just when you need a little Stoic wisdom. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope these messages help you embrace the strength and mindset of a Stoic woman every day. Take care, and remember to keep cultivating that inner peace and resilience. See you next time.